Max Verstappen is the reigning champion from 2021, and although there have been a lot of controversies when it comes to his championship-winning season, the Dutchman has absolutely destroyed his competition in 2022 and is on set to break multiple records if he keeps on going like this. We haven't seen such dominance since the 2014-2020 era of Mercedes, and although this could be another period of boring dominance of one team, some records are set to be broken by the Flying Dutchman in 2022. Want to find out 5 of them? Stick around with us until the end of this video. The first record that is being vaguely discussed about, and many experts are talking about it constantly, is the most victories in a season. This record is currently held by Sebastian Vettel and Michael Schumacher and stands at 13. It's not a surprise that drivers of the caliber of Schumacher and Vettel are holding this record, as we all know how accomplished they are. Schumacher won the championship 5 times in a row for Ferrari from 2000 to 2004, while Vettel did this achievement 4 times for Red Bull from 2010 to 2013. Therefore, it goes without saying that Verstappen is on the path to crushing a record that's standing from a great caliber of drivers, a record that not even Hamilton was able to destroy in his most dominant years in F1. Max Verstappen is currently standing at 11 wins with 6 races remaining, and although it's very important to note that when Schumacher won the record of 13 won races, there were only 18 tenures on the calendar. This does not take away from the fact that Verstappen is in a league of his own and is tearing up his competition. Per sensual, Schumacher will hold the record, but yet Verstappen is the one that is looking forward to crushing this rule and positioning himself as the most dominant driver up there. However, in 2013, when Vettel won 13 out of 19 races on the calendar, it's worth mentioning that he was the only Red Bull driver that won the race. Webber, his teammate and the guy who is currently managing Oscar Piastri, didn't win a single race in 2013. This wasn't the case in 2004 with Schumacher, and won't be the case with Verstappen in 2022 if he is to crush the record. On top of this, Vettel won 9 races in a row, and this is also a record that Verstappen can break too if he goes on to win at least 4 races in a row, as he already has 6 consecutive wins. Let's talk a bit about the 11 wins in a season, as this is a record that was firstly achieved by Schumacher in 2002 and then repeated by Vettel in 2011. Apart from these two, Hamilton is tied with Verstappen for most wins in a season, 11 as they stand now, as the Briton has achieved this feature in 2013, 2018, 2019 and 2020. Another record that Verstappen is about to crush is the record of the most wins in a season and in total. This record is currently held by Lewis Hamilton, as he has won 413 points in a season and 4,333.5 points in total. In F1, points are utilized to decide the result of both of the Drivers' and Constructors' Championship. Lewis Hamilton has been the main figure in the turbo hybrid era, as he's been able to gather the most points out of the 2014 to 2020 season, with him missing out on the championship in 2016 only and finishing behind his teammate Nico Rosberg. Currently, as we speak, Max Verstappen has 1,911.5 total points, and with 6 races remaining, he has 335 points. Thanks to his amazing season, Red Bull has been booming in points, and they might crush some records when it comes to most constructors' points in a season. Ferrari has the most points combined with the races available and the points given to the drivers at that time. Ferrari scored 221 points in 2002, the same as the rest of the teams combined below them. Mercedes scored 703 points out of a possible 817 points, meaning that they had around 86% of the maximum amount of points that a team could score in a season. Verstappen can also break the record for the most podiums in a season. What's even more interesting is that Verstappen holds the record for the most podiums in a season, 18 in his championship-winning season, as he broke the record in the last race in Abu Dhabi by winning the championship. This record was held by Schumacher in 2002 and by Vettel in 2011, as well as Hamilton in 2015, 2021, 2008 and 2019. However, one record couldn't be touched by Verstappen this season, and that is the percentage of podium finishes at every race, as Schumacher is the only driver in the world that was able to finish on the podium in every race, as he participated in the season in 2002, finishing 17 times out of 17 races. This isn't possible for Verstappen, as he hasn't finished 2 races and has finished P7 in Silverstone 2. Currently, Verstappen has 13 podiums, and if he manages to finish on the podium in every race remaining on the calendar, he'll have 19 podium finishes out of 22 races. That would be something to boast about, right? There is another interesting record that Verstappen can break, and that is the biggest gap to second place. This is a record that's being held by Vettel in 2013, and he had 155 points gap to P2 with 9 consecutive race wins and finished 155 points ahead of Fernando Alonso, who was in Ferrari at P2. With 6 races remaining, Verstappen has 335 points compared to Leclerc's 219 points at P2, and the gap between them is 116 points. It's evident that Ferrari is struggling, and if Verstappen continues his form of winning every race that he participates in, then this record would be shattered, even with Leclerc finishing second at every race so far. This means that Verstappen would gather between 6 or 8 plus points, depending on who has the fastest lap, meaning that the difference can be enhanced by at least plus 48 points. Therefore, this is a record that we are surely waiting on to be broken, and that will be truly the exclamation point on the dominating season for Verstappen and Red Bull. And the latest record that Verstappen can break is most consecutive race wins. We already mentioned something about his record earlier in this video and have said multiple times that the record is currently being held by Sebastian Vettel in 2013 with 9 consecutive race wins. As of now, Verstappen has 6 wins and the calendar has 6 races remaining that the F1 caravan needs to visit. If Verstappen manages to win the next 3 of them, he'll match the record of Vettel, but if he manages to win the next 4 races, then he'll definitely break it. But it's very important for Verstappen to continue winning, as if he doesn't win in any of the next 4 races, he won't be able to defeat this record of Vettel that's set in 2013 in the same time that Verstappen is looking forward to breaking the record in. With that being said, what do you think about Verstappen's mission to break some records in 2022? It's evident that the Dutchman is in a league of his own, and after he started from P14, P10 and P7 on three occasions this season, he managed to win all of these races and dominated throughout the rest of the races. Which records do you think Verstappen has the most chance of breaking this season? Let us know in the comments below.